Hey everyone, Techni here with a keyboard review. The keyboard we have today is the SteelSeries APEX M750 10 keyless. Now let me tell you this, as some of you have been with us for a while here, you all know I love SteelSeries products. I think they are just fantastic. But I'm sure the question on some of yours mind, which is the same as mine whenever I was shopping this keyboard, is it worth $100, give or take? Could be a little bit less, a little bit more. I think currently as filming this video, it's around 94 bucks. But anyways, I absolutely love SteelSeries products, so I had to give it the good old test-a-rooney. So let me pop it open, bring you in for a couple close-ups, and then I'll join back with you and we'll talk about it. Hey, I'll be right back with you. Wow, so how about them close-ups? I mean, good night. This thing is absolutely, you know, gorgeous. I promise I'm not going to use that word anymore in this review here. I know I overdone it in the LG monitor review. I probably said gorgeous probably about at least 15 to 20 times. I promise I'm not going to say it anymore in this review. Alright, so now as you see, we are in the SteelSeries software, and honestly, I love this software across all SteelSeries products. It can be a little confusing at first, but after a while, you really get used to it, and it flows very nicely. As you see over here, you got configuration, so you can save each setting per game or whatever you like if you want to create a different effect, because there's so much you can create on this keyboard. It's absolutely crazy. Anyways, as you see, we're in key bindings over here, and you can adjust all your keys if you like. You can launch this and then do some macro recording if you like that. Also in key bindings, you can do it per zone, like your function keys or your standard keys and all that stuff. So anyways, all that key binding stuff is there if you use that. I don't use it. But anyways, this is where things start getting real crazy and pretty cool, honestly. The illumination. So as you can see right here, we're in active. Now look at all these effects you can do. Like, holy smokes. And of course you can adjust your color over here, pick your own color, or do color shift so it just fades throughout, which is really nice through if you have multiple SteelSeries products hooked up right there. And then of course your speed, and you can affect which way the effect is going. So it's just so much. Now you probably wonder, what the heck is this reactive up here? So if you go to reactive, you'll put on fade, and then you can adjust. Well, we got color shift on, but if you turn color shift off, you can pick whatever color you want it to do. But what that's going to do is, so let's say over here, let's say, I know it's getting confused, I'm going back and forth, right? But let's say we're on active. Let's say you had the wave going, right? Then you also had reactive ripple going. So say your wave is going across, then you have reactive ripple. Whenever you press, say if you press the D, it's going to ripple out from there. Or if you press the M, it'll ripple out from there, depending on whichever effect you decide to choose, you know, and you can pick the color. So if you got your keyboard set to red, then you can have the reactive effect going blue or whatever. It's just so cool because you can get so creative with the keyboard. And then again, of course, adjust your settings and all that stuff. And it's honestly really, really cool. This is one of my favorites, which I think is really awesome, which sets this RGB and this keyboard apart from some of the other ones we've reviewed. Per key static. As you can see here, I just dabbled with a few, just messing with it. Like you can press the G, bam, we'll make it green. Press the Y, bam, let's make it blue. So you can get on here and kind of get really creative and artsy and just adjust the entire keyboard however you want. Like, I'm looking at it down on my desk, like you guys are seeing it here, but I'm looking at it on my desk while I'm setting it because I got live preview on. And it's really cool. Like, you can honestly lose yourself in here just, you know, setting up the colors in this. So as far as the RGB, again, in this software, it is incredibly solid. Over here in settings, you can adjust the region of your keyboard and then the brightness of it. And again, this stuff can be adjusted on the keyboard as well. Not some of the effects we were looking at before. Some of that you have to get into the software, but the main effects and the color change and the brightness and the speed of the effect, that stuff can be changed on the keyboard. So as far as that software you saw right there, super easy to use. As far as my setup, I use a lot of SteelSeries products, and I do not use the light sync. I leave all of my stuff static at red. So again, I don't get into the RGB where it's all flashing and everything like that, but it's really nice to have that. I did test out the sync and everything, and it looks absolutely gorgeous because it like flows from one thing to the other thing, and it's just, you know, it feels like you're at the disco. But while we're on the topic of RGB, let me tell you what, 100%, this is probably the best RGB yet out of any keyboards. I mean, other keyboards have had fantastic RGB, but this is just very clear. Every key has a different color. Like you saw in the software, you can program each key to whatever color you want, you know? And you really notice that whenever it's changing through, whether it be the rainbow, kind of like it's doing right now, or any of the other flashes, you really notice it. Like some of the other keyboards have done the same effect, and they flash and kind of rotate around the board and everything, which they look great. But honestly, this one, it really transitions very, very smooth. It's really hard to explain, but again, you just see it kind of fade from the key to the next one. It looks very, very good. Now, one other thing as far as the RGB, and I promise I'll get off the subject of RGB, but I just want to let everyone know, as you were just seeing all those effects that we were just showing there, you can set this keyboard to your static color, whether it be red, blue, green, whatever you decide, and then it'll do all those effects as well in your static color. So really cool to have that feature, so you don't have to just have it all, you know, sparkly in the rainbow colors. If you want it just solid red, you can still take advantage of those effects. It feels built very solid for sure, but again, it's not really heavy. I almost expected it to be a little bit heavier. You know, I don't know. I guess something that's $100 should be heavy. I don't know. But anyways, again, maybe it just feels a little bit lighter, not cheap by any means. Now the back of it is all plastic, and I don't know if you caught this in the close-ups a while back. You have your little grips right down here on the bottom, and then up top here, these are your little feet, I guess you'd say, and then your grips as well, and they just pop out of that hole right there, if you can see right here. And then again, here's the little foot that just clips right in there. And actually in your box over here, I don't use them, but these are really, really big extra feet right here that'll raise the keyboard up for you. Again, it becomes very high with those, so I don't even use them. But just like this with these feet right here, it is perfectly fine. It doesn't slide around anywhere. There's no flex in the board at all. Again, it feels like it's built very solid. Now let's go ahead and talk about the keys. Now real quick off the bat, the keycaps are covered with a UV coating. I'm not too sure what the heck that is, but it says it prevents wear. I don't know. It has a slight hint of that soft touch, kind of like their headsets do, but not an overdone amount. You do get a couple fingerprints on it and whatnot. I mean, I haven't noticed any wear yet. You know, I mean, I'm cycling through so many keyboards anyways, but I mean, it feels fantastic. It really does. It's smooth. The fonts are real nice, as you can see right here. And again, it feels incredibly solid to me. I guess, you know, UV protection, I guess, hey, it's not gonna get sunburnt, right? Now, as far as the switches, they use that QX2, the SteelSeries switches in there. Now, they partnered with Gateron to make these guys here. Now, the only differences I could find about them is that they use the clear housing. Let me pop one off here and show you. Here, we'll look right down there if you can see that on camera. As you see, it has the clear housing down there. The other thing they said they have is a copper click leaf, whatever the heck that is, and then some softer plastic. I don't know. What I can tell you is I use Cherry Reds all the time, and that's kind of what they compare these to. These are similar to the Cherry MX Reds, and Cherry MX Reds are my preferred switches. So I can tell you from using a lot of Cherry MX keyboards, then using this one, they feel very, very similar. Now, what I can tell you as far as a difference using these QX2 SteelSeries switches compared to the Cherry MX Reds is these are a little bit smoother. They go down. The Cherry MX Reds might have a little bit more resistance, it feels like. I don't know. Again, it is so incredibly minor, like very, very minor. I mean, there's almost no difference, but these do feel better than regular Cherry MX Reds, again, by just that minor bit. Let me go ahead and give you a sound test, and you'll probably be able to tell what I'm talking about here. So anyways, let me bring it back a bit. There we go, about 2 feet from the mic here. So as you can tell, they sound very similar to the Reds. Again, it's so hard to tell, but it's even harder to tell through the camera here, but they are a little bit smoother. Again, I'm not sure if you could tell on the camera, but they are a little bit smoother and they do feel very, very nice. Now, one thing I'd like to point out as well, we've been reviewing a lot of keyboards here, right? We've done some of 60% with the steel base and everything, and this is where you can kind of tell that difference. A lot of those cheaper keyboards, I don't want to say cheaper, but off-brand keyboards, they've had that real tinny sound whenever you're hitting your keys, right? You don't get that with this guy. I mean, it is solid. It feels like it's built throughout the entire keyboard. And again, you get a very nice sound. You hear your keys, you feel your keys. And again, nothing feels chintzy on it by any means. So let's answer that $100 question, right? Is it worth $100? And yes, I do think it is worth that $100. And let me catch you right there because I want to let you know why I think it's worth that $100, because we have reviewed many good keyboards on this channel, rating from around 30 to 50 bucks, and they all have been great. But where this guy differs is, again, everything feels solid on it. It really does, from the keys to the switches to the build. It feels 100% solid. Now, of course, you know I couldn't resist mentioning fluff. And yes, you are paying for fluff with this keyboard. That RGB you are paying for. It is one of a kind. I mean, this is just some extremely sharp RGB, and it looks so good where I'm gonna go off my usual track and I'm gonna say it's worth paying for it, because honestly it looks that good. Me, I'm not gonna use it. It's gonna be lit up red on me all the time with no effect going on, so that kind of stinks for me. But if you love RGB, this is the way to go, because I mean, this thing is absolutely stunning. So that's why I think it is worth it. Again, you're paying for that fluff, but it is very, very good fluff. And all in all, like I said in the beginning, I use a lot of SteelSeries products, and I really love pairing my stuff up, whether it be with Corsair or SteelSeries or whatever. I like all of my products to kind of be on the same line. So then again, I only need one software running. I don't have to have IQ running here and then SteelSeries over here, you know what I mean? I can have everything synced through one software, click on it, bam, and control everything right there. Very nice and convenient. But all in all, I honestly give this keyboard a win. I really like it. I was kind of leery about spending the $100 at first. Again, right now I think it's on sale for $94, and I really think it's worth that price. Now, this keyboard does also come with the 10 keys as well, and I believe it's maybe like 10 or 20 bucks more. But again, it does come with the 10 keys. So hey, let me know down in the comments, are you looking at picking up the SteelSeries M750, the 10 keyless, or the one with the 10 keys? Hey, I'll leave the link right down in the description for you. But again, I think you're gonna be extremely happy with this keyboard if you pick it up. Again, it is just extremely solid, and it is totally worth that price tag. But hey, please do let me know down in the comments if you picked it up and what you think of it. But hey, thank you so much for stopping by and watching this one. If you liked it, hit that thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for some future tech videos. And I hope I catch you in the next one. Bye now.